Hi guys, so this video will help to explain what I'm looking for Essay 2. Alright, so you guys can see the due dates there at the top. In preparation for this project, you will read 3 selections. Body Ritual Among the Nasarima, which will be found on Blackboard. What to the Slave is the 4th of July, also on Blackboard. And Black Men in Public Space, which is in your textbook. These selections These selections have alluded to, if not overtly reveal, the author's beliefs about inequality in the respective time periods, but were given in very different contexts. In each complaint, we see the author's desire for something better, even if this desire is not stated explicitly. Your goal is to construct an account of one of these arguments. An account is not the same as a summary, although you will need to do some summary. Your paper should first explain how the author's use of specific kinds of evidence supports the argument, how the argument is constructed, and why it is effective. Keep in mind you are not agreeing or disagreeing with the author's argument, only analyzing it. This essay will demonstrate your understanding of rhetoric, understanding how and why the author constructed the argument. Okay, so based on the rhetorical strategies handout and lecture, you are going to find rhetorical devices in one of these 3 texts and compose an essay in which you analyze those rhetorical moves in the text. So each body paragraph will have a topic sentence that identifies the strategy. Then you have a quote from the text where that strategy exists that illustrates the strategy, and then you explain how the quote supports the strategy and how the strategy supports the argument. So just so we can visualize this a little bit better. Okay, so in our folder, underneath the rhetorical strategies handout lecture, and the prompt video will be here. Right underneath that is our outline. So if you click on that, it will download and then you can open it. And this should really help you to understand how to construct your essay and how to visualize it. Okay, so let's look here, and this is actually essay 2. So in the introduction, you'll have the rhetorical situation, which was explained in the rhetorical strategies lecture. You need the audience, the author, and the purpose, the main argument of the chosen text, so that's either of Miner's, Douglas's, or Staples' text, and then your thesis will be whether or not the audience is persuaded, right? So you can use this kind of structure. Miner's text is effective in persuading his intended audience, or Staples' text is ineffective, or whatever you decide. So then in each body paragraph, like I was just describing, this is optional. You don't really need to do a summary of the main claims if you don't want to. You can if you'd like, but you're going to talk about them within the body of the essay. But B here is what we're really focusing on right now. Okay, so you have each little Roman numeral here will be a paragraph. So for little I here, you need to have a topic sentence which names the strategy, a quote of the strategy, explain how the strategy supports the claim, and how effective the strategy is in supporting the argument and convincing the audience. Okay, and then you do that as many times as you need to, maybe 3 body paragraphs, 4 body paragraphs, and here I just say you can copy the structure if you want to do more than 2. And then the conclusion will be the significance of your argument. What do we have to gain? I could write that here. What do we have to gain by analyzing rhetoric? Okay, that's a question you should answer in your conclusion. So this is basically your essay. Okay, and I think the outline should be super helpful in helping, like I said, to visualize it and structure it. And then we'll do a discussion board where you practice identifying rhetorical strategies in an advertisement. And then when we get to the next week, assignments due on the 19th, that's when you'll read the text, and then you'll have a discussion board which asks you to kind of work with each of the 3 texts, and then we'll move on to the rough drafts. So this should come together pretty nicely for you in terms of how the assignment sequence is designed, okay? And then your successful essays will accurately and effectively introduce and contextualize the topic, author, article, project, and argument in the intro. Have a clear statement that indicates how the paper will proceed. This just means basically your thesis statement, whether or not the text is effective in convincing the audience. Indicate a clear focus and a well-written thesis. Give an account of the author's argument. Discuss what has been learned about the topic. Proper stylistic convention, smoothly integrating evidence, cohesive, clear structure, and the outline will help with that. Proper MLA in 3 to 4 pages and good editing, okay? And if we look in the February 12th folder towards the bottom, I have also included a sample essay here. So you can download it. What I've done is I've included an essay that isn't on any of our 3 texts, okay, because I don't want any of your essays to be similar to the sample, but this essay does exactly, it answers the same exact prompt, okay, so here, you know, emotional narrations will be the first strategy she talks about. And she goes on to discuss many more strategies. So this sample is really well done, so I recommend you read all the way through it. I've also included a document that has the sample essay with some notes, okay? And so you can kind of see the breakdown. There's a hook, and then I've highlighted it and kind of annotated what this student is doing in terms of answering the prompt, okay? So you can kind of go through that as well. And this is, again, on the same, it's the same essay as the sample, it's just with notes on it, okay? So there's tons of resources here to help you, but if you have any questions, don't hesitate to email me.